Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to CHI, your host Odysseus. So after the last episode, I felt like I needed something to cheer myself up. If you know anything about me, and if you do, I'm calling the cops, you should know that I have absolutely no use for the phrases best thing ever, or worst thing whatever, or greatest of all eternity. I find these phrases to be shallow and need the proper context to be used effectively. So please understand when I say that Walking with Dinosaurs is my favorite thing ever. Not documentary, not miniseries, or even video. Favorite thing ever. No, seriously, it was great. A mix of computer graphics and animatronics, and its presentation of a nature documentary, letting events play out naturally based on the instincts of the animals, was a stroke of genius. But we're not talking about that. We're going to be looking at the fourth entry in the Walking With series, Walking With Monsters. And that title is just confusing. I mean, you can't call it Walking With Lizards and Bugs and Fish, but Walking With Monsters sounds like a documentary about Monsters Inc. or something. Anyway, we get a look at planet Earth after we run out of oil. That was topical about a month ago. Actually, this is pre-Cambrian Earth. Hey, you know that scene in Fantasia? That shows the Earth in constant eruption and a fiery mix of natural disasters? Yeah, that was cool. But it wasn't two planets colliding into each other! Boom! Take that, modern blockbusters! All your talk of world-ending destruction cannot stand up to this majesty! Seriously, what other movie has the Earth being smashed by another planet? That doesn't count! But seriously, what an opening. Alright, what else can you tell us about the pre-Cambrian age? What? Seriously? Nothing about water molecules or single-cell organisms? I mean, sure, it's not as interesting, but Walking with Dinosaurs included the boring stuff, like the Triassic period, which had cannibalism, the last remnants of a dying species, and the first dinosaurs, which simply cannot stand up to a bunch of bacteria. Okay, bad example. Okay, what about the first oceans? You know, where life began and whatever. This is where we're introduced to something different from the rest of the Walking With series. Some text stating the time period and some random trivia. It's not much, but something. So after seeing the bastard child of a fly and a squid, we see, oh god. Ugh. Sorry people, that's just so creepy. So this transparent organism is Hyquicthes, who is suspected to be the first fish. I say suspected because the only thing that can make the scientific community agree with something would be the will of God. Har har. This is also where we get to see another aspect of monsters, this kind of look into a creature's body thing. Which thankfully is a practical effect. Which is kinda cool, but it's kinda silly at times. But wait, there's more! Another added feature is this fast-forward evolutionary clock thing. Which kinda answers that whole how did this turn into this kinda question, but I don't think anyone is really asking that. Still, it's a cool effect, and it makes for a smooth segue into the next time period. And this is where we get to meet Brontoscorpio. Yes, Brontoscorpio. Hey, remember Apatoscorpio and that whole name fiasco? Whew, dark times. But yes, this is the Silurian period, when fish ruled the earth. Well, except for that whole eaten by giant scorpions and being in the bottom of the food chain. The age of fish sounds sillier. But this isn't a perfect documentary, and
one of the first complex brains. It's thanks to these primitive fish that we can think and solve problems today.
Thanks? I can understand this if they were describing how this led from one animal to another, but why does it need to bring up humans? I mean, this series has always been a middle finger to creationists, and it was bad enough with Walking with Cavemen, but now it seems like they're needlessly pointing it out. Also, I can't be the only one that thinks that looks like a ball sack, right? But prepare yourself for something truly awesome!
It is the arthropods and not our ancestors who have taken the first momentous steps out of the sea onto dry land.
Giant scorpions were the first to walk on land. You know, there are some things in this world that just make me happy. Movies, women, giant scorpions. My happy place. It's so awesome that it kind of distracts me from this really sad scene. Well, kind of. Really, I just see this. Also, if I didn't tell you already, the Walking With series had great practical effects. In my opinion, this is the best one in monsters.
He needs to shed his hard skin and then grow another, expanding while the new one is still soft.
That thing looks like it came out of Aliens. But now it's time to hit fast forward on evolution, as the primitive Cephalaspis grows limbs and teeth and turns into the amphibian Hynurpitin. I would have a Pokemon style evolution, but I don't have that kind of money. So we have now moved into the Devonian period, the age of amphibians. The age of fish and the age of amphibians. You know what, I'm leaving this in the comments. You guys decide which sounds more lame. Now there's something I need to point out that the documentary fails to. You see, there are no herbivores at this point. Pretty much everything is a meat eater, hence why meat is easier to digest for us. I mean, that's fine in the Silurian period when there's barely any vegetation, but it's starting to become very noticeable at this point. Just keep that in mind. And yet another thing this documentary fails at is this shark.
Primitive sharks are constantly on the hunt.
It's a Stethecanthus. That's all you had to say. But I know that you really don't care about that. What you want to know is, what the hell is with that dorsal fin? Ladies and gentlemen, I call this the compensating for something shark. You see, Stethecanthus males would use these steroid dorsal fins to fight each other as a means to attract mates. Truly the best and refined way of picking up chicks. Yeah, this is Hyneria, a 2-ton sushi buffet that has a hankering for mutant tadpoles. But the Hynurpitin escapes. This is a weird remake to Jaws.